So this is a video for why do we need to make a better century? So the first things first, we are in a climate and ecological crisis. Our very security is at risk at the moment. And certainly the security for our children is at risk, and we are in grave peril of leaving a world for them which is truly uninhabitable and a very, very difficult place to be. And we need to do something about that drastic problem today. So why are we in a climate and ecological crisis? That's because for years we have been burning oil and gas and coal and all different types of fossil fuel energy in order to be able to power our lives. Since pre-industrial times, in pre-1970s, the amount of carbon in our atmosphere has nearly doubled. And that is simply because of human activity. This is not a natural phenomenon. This has happened because we have kept on burning. And if you just imagine, we burn a lump of charcoal and all of that coal goes up into the air in the form of carbon dioxide. It actually increases in weight, increases in diameter, and that causes a huge amount of carbon to be locked into our atmosphere, which then locks in energy which is coming down from the sun. And that's what's causing a huge number of dramatic weather events that we're experiencing today. You know, the floods which are happening in November in the UK and in Venice at the moment, they're happening because there is too much energy in the atmosphere and it's disrupting our natural climate systems. They are continuing to occur and will continue to occur and will get a lot worse. The fires which we're seeing in Sydney, those are going to be replicated through some of the most arid regions in our world. And by the end of this century, what we're looking to actually see, if we carry on in the kind of way in which we are at the moment, is a 6 degrees rise in temperature. And a 6 degrees rise in temperature results in a world which is habitable for 1 billion people. Now, this isn't going to just affect those people at the end of this century, it's going to affect people in the next 10 to 30 years. In the next 10 to 30 years, we're likely to see food shortages. We are likely to see a huge amount of difficulty caused from the fact that our farming systems are starting to break down. It is already occurring in the UK. We're already seeing farms which are stopping their practices because of severe weather events like we're seeing in November, because of, you know, early heat events during the spring period. We are in a climate crisis and we need to do something about it. And we need to go about working together to tackle that crisis in order to be able to move on. So we're also in an ecological crisis. Our agricultural practices have been driving down the number of insects by about 40% over the last 30 or 40 years. We are using our land really, really badly. In the UK alone, the reason why we're using our land so intensively is because we've still got a post-Second World War production system as we're trying to compete with the rest of the world. We are going about producing food at a rapid rate at the expense of our children, at the expense of them having a world which is truly provides them the food which they need, truly provides them the environment which they need to live in. And we need to do something about those farming practices because our soil quality is driving down, and we need to go about changing what we're doing. So I wanted to ask, why do we need to make a better century? Well, it's because of the climate crisis, it's because of the ecological crisis. We need to do something about this together. And the only way we can do that is to work alongside one another to change culture and to work towards something different. So, you know, if you're just watching this video about Better Century, then come and join us, come and find out what you can do, because it's about how you can respond to that crisis, how you can find out about what mechanisms you can do in your own day-to-day life and what campaigns you can support. And I invite you to come and join Better Century and find out more about us. And I'll be recording now a video on, well, what can we do to make a better century and how do we actually do that together? So have a look at that as well. So thanks very much.